You're talking to scientists. I think if you look back to England's selection and what they've kind of delivered over the last few weeks, of players being sent home, coming back, Josh Butler playing one test, going home, Jimmy Anderson being brilliant for two tests, resting before the England team are going to have a week off before that third test, having bowled brilliantly last week. I think the England selection's becoming a little bit too scientific. I think they're almost thinking about what's going to happen before it's happened. And when you go 1-0 up in a series against a fantastic team like India, unless you get injuries, I would have rolled them out again. The same play. I know Stokes has done well. I know Moeen Ali's done okay, but it's a team that's played so well for that 5 days to win you a game, to go 1-0 up in a series. That 3 days later, it's a different team. I'm like, where's the old adage of building a team and going again? And that camaraderie and that spirit that you've played together to win that test match, it almost gets null and void the 3 days later because you've changed so many things. And that's just a little bit of science I think is creeping in. So England have got to be careful.
If you're perplexed.
Yeah, just a little bit thinking, just thinking too much harsh, I think, just kind of overcomplicating it. Cricket is a very, very, so-called simple game, which it isn't, but it's a simpler game that's made very complicated by many. And one of the basics, if you win a game of cricket, if players are fit and ready to go again with them, because they know how to beat that opposing side.
I just wonder if England might have been a touch inexperienced in situations like those. But I mean, you look back overall, the moment India got as many runs as they did in the first innings, and England got just 134. I think it was always going to be very difficult. The one point that I will make about England going ahead is, you look at someone like Moeen Ali. He's got a lot of wickets in this test match. He may not have looked like the greatest off spinner in the world, but he's got wickets. But he goes back, doesn't he? So all the learning from Moeen Ali's bowling here, in case you've got a turner in Ahmedabad, we don't know. It's a pink ball test. We may not. But all the learning that Moeen Ali has got, his confidence coming back, he's gone. And you then go to Dom Bess and say, you know what, we actually need two spinners, but you weren't good enough on the turn, so we'll play you on this day.
Well, that's why I said to you earlier, Harsha, I just think it's all becoming too scientific. I just don't think there's enough flexibility. Hopefully that the selectors realise that Moeen Ali has done well this week and he needs to be playing in the pink ball game. But they've been setting the way so far. Every decision that they've made pre-series, pre-game, they've gone on and allowed players to go home or allowed people to go back into the bubble here in the UK. I just think it's too scientific. I just think when you're playing a team like India, you've just got to have your best players. The fact that Bairstow's not been there for 3 games, brilliant player, got a great record in India. The Indian players know him from the IPL, so they know what a great player he can be. Josh Butler plays one test, they win, he goes back. Jimmy Anderson plays the first test, he was the standout. He doesn't play the second test because they've got this policy of him not playing game after game. But I just think you've got to be more flexible as a selection unit. If Moeen Ali goes home after the week, having got the wickets he's got and kind of got back into the test team, having been out the test team for near on 2 years, I'd be staggered.